Since 2009, the city of Monterrey has been ravaged by violent crime. Carjackings, murder and extortion have been daily occurrences. Drug gangs fight each other, terrorizing locals. Gun battles that were once confined to poor neighborhoods have spread to wealthier areas, causing some citizens to flee to Texas, just a few hours' drive away. But a collaborative initiative between the government of the local state of Nuevo León and the city's industrial elite, the first of its kind in the country, has at last started to turn things around. Fuerza Civil is a new state police force made up of people who have never worked in law enforcement before. Starting pay at more than 15,000 pesos, $1,175 a month, is at least double a normal officer's salary, and police housing is provided in secure compounds, making it difficult for drug mafias to infiltrate. The public and private sectors have shared money and expertise in recruiting and running a new type of police force. First, they had to purge state and local police of mafia infiltration. Many were fired or jailed after failing lie detector and other tests. Then, the government worked with the human resources departments of Monterrey's biggest firms to launch a nationwide recruitment drive. Mauricio Derna is vice president of corporate affairs at Cemex, Mexico's biggest cement company, whose headquarters are in Monterrey. He says the public-private cooperation was not problem-free.
Obviously, it's hard because you're basically working shoulder to shoulder with the government, but at the same time you're also saying what you're seeing, and many governments don't like for that to be publicized. So it's been hard to get around that, but it's both our problem and taking ownership of the problem, but we're here to help.
The initiative aims to rebuild the damaged relationship between locals and those who are meant to protect them, fostered by years of corruption and inefficiency. Patrick Kane is the head of the Centro of Citizen Integration, or CIC, a network set up by local firms to encourage people to report crimes and provide information to the police.
Security itself is more an effect than the root cause of the problem. The root cause of the problem is really the lack of citizen participation. So what we're trying to do here is awaken citizen participation. So we tend to be the bridge of confidence between citizens and the local authorities. And what we're trying to do is create a space for citizens to share their thoughts on and perceptions of what's happening in their surroundings. So if they are witnessing something that's happening, they could actually provide more information that could be useful to the local authorities.
Locals have shown support for the new force, saying the reduction in violent crime is noticeable.
Pues sí está funcionando bien. Pues que nos protejan de la inseguridad, de todo lo que nos está rodeando ahorita, ¿verdad? Pues ya no hay tanta delincuencia como de primero, ¿verdad? Que de primero sí había tantas muertes y todo, ¿no? Y ahorita ya se está calmando todo.
The figures are encouraging. While the murder rate is still well above average, the number of killings has plunged recently. Violent car theft fell from 45 a day in July 2011 to just over 4 a day in April. Authorities claim leaders of the local wing of the Zetas, one of the most feared drug gangs in Mexico, are now largely on the run, in jail or dead. However, Mr. Derna says that while local businesses felt compelled to step in to alleviate an emergency situation, Monterrey's private sector cannot be expected to subsidize security efforts permanently.
Going forward, it is definitely something that in the budgeting process of the government needs to be addressed. In other words, the private intervention in these sort of schemes, in my personal view, don't have to be extended too long. I mean, it is their duty, and it is with our taxes that they need to take care of these schemes.
He also acknowledges that the efforts so far have been quick fixes to deal with the crisis. If Monterrey is to turn its fortunes around for the long term and encourage its young people to shun violent crime, the city will have to find a way to provide better education and employment prospects for those from poor neighborhoods. Signs that some of the city's wealthier inhabitants are starting to return is a positive start.
In the long run, it's going to have to do with really structural problems that we were facing. We're getting there, and that's really a major accomplishment, in my view, from where we were back then. But most importantly, I would say that we started to believe again in ourselves.